Yo, what's up guys, Boss here, and I'm back with another YouTube video, and this time we're going to be playing some top ladder using this new graveyard deck, which has been used a lot in GCs and competitive recently, and then I also saw some people using it on ladder. I just think it's a really solid deck in general because you have really solid defense. You have the Goblin Cage, which recently got buffed. The Brawler does more damage now, and the Inferno Drag is super good because a lot of people are using RG Cycle, that deck I used last, I think a couple videos ago, and Golem, Giants, anything like that, Inferno Drag is so good against, especially if they don't have their set for it in cycle. Just gets so much value. Archers are good because you can split them behind your tower and it'll provide some defense in both lanes. And Dark Prince is good because there's a lot of Royal Hogs right now, and it's just nice to have, you know, that splash, and also it provides a lot of pressure if you're versing a Lava Hound deck because they'll often have barbs or guards if they're using a Lava Hound deck, and Dark Prince is a good counter to those two things, so you can go like Dark Prince Graveyard when they Lava Hound in the back, and often they're unable to defend it. So let's go ahead and go into the first game. We're almost top 800 right now. Let's try to push up with this Graveyard deck. And most Graveyard decks, you don't want to make the first move, but I feel like with this Graveyard deck, it's pretty safe to make the first move because Archers are just such a good starting play, as well as Goblin Cage, so I'm usually quite comfortable making the first move. So we're going to start off here with the Goblin Cage and see what Falabi wants to do here. And he's just going to go ahead and play Ewiz in the back, so we can split Archers here and see what he wants to do. I mean, Ewiz doesn't tell us too much about his deck. I mean, there's a few decks that have it. Looks like he's going to have Spear Goblins, so he might be using this Giant Skeleton, Giant Skeleton Hog deck. I've seen this deck a few times in the meta, so he might be trying to cycle back to his Ewiz, so we got to watch out for that. But he doesn't have it back in rotation yet. So, yeah, looks like we prevent... Wait, does this activate King? Yeah, so it looks like we get the King activated. You can do that quite easily off of buildings when they have the Firecracker. And it looks like he's going to protect that. So, I'm fine snowballing this to cycle us. Okay, so I guess a little bit of an interesting start. I mean, we get the King activated, but at the same time, we take quite a bit of damage on our left tower. So I don't know if we got the better of that exchange, excuse me. But I mean, it is always nice to have the King activated versus a Hog deck. So we're gonna go for a poison to kill the Firecracker. He might go for Ewiz now with us having the poison out of cycle. It's going to go pretty aggressive with an Ewiz as well as a Hog. So we're going to make sure the cage is out of range of the bomb. And because he was so aggressive, I'm actually going to be applying a lot of pressure here myself. We're definitely going to snowball these Spear Goblins as soon as we possibly can, getting them off the board. And we also want to try to kill this Ewiz as well as Lumberjack as fast as we possibly can. And just like that, the Skeletons are going to end up taking out his tower because he just didn't have the Elixir. We're going to pull back this Giant Skeleton and then just go for a Goblin Cage on this Hog. I pulled back the Giant Skeleton because I had a feeling he was going to go for a Hog. He might go Firecracker to try to get some chip damage. So I was going for Prediction Dark Prince there. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off. But let's watch out for his next Hog push. We should just go for a high Goblin Cage when he plays it, and then we should be fine. So yeah, let's just go Goblin Cage. That's definitely going to be GG. No way he can break through with the Hog now. So yeah, fairly easy first match. I mean, Cage is really good versus the Hog Rider, and he overall didn't have that many answers to our Graveyard. All it took was one big Graveyard push when he was low on Elixir, and he just simply wasn't able to defend it. So that's going to put us top 700 now. Let's claim these rewards here. We're already at tier 30. Only 5 more to go. I've been playing quite a lot the last couple weeks during quarantine. So, all right, let's search for another game. Let's try to make it to at least 6,400 this video. I think that would be a good goal. That's 2 more games, I think, unless we get like a plus 35 or something. But otherwise, 2 games. So we're going to have archers in our starting hand. We can go ahead and split those first play of the game. And then have our Goblin Cage ready if he's going to try to apply pressure. And he's going to have a Golem. So Inferno Drag's going to come in handy this matchup for sure. We're just going to play a Goblin Cage a little lower. And get ready to play our Inferno Drag. We don't know what Golem variant he has yet, but it looks like he's going to have Flying Machine and Skeleton Barrel, so I was going to say that must mean he has Clone, and sure enough, he does. So unfortunately, we're going to take a ton of damage here. But we're going to try to apply a little bit of pressure. I think he's got Night Witch, I think. Deck usually has Night Witch. Ooh, he's got arrows. I forgot about arrows. Okay, so... Goodness. The good news is I don't think he has a reset for the Inferno Drag, but the bad news is we took so much damage from that first Golem push. That wasn't good. If he goes in for a Golem in the back, we need an Ice Golem Graveyard, I think. So we'll see here how he defends this. He doesn't have a Goblin Gang or arrows in cycle. He's going to play Bats, which just gets snowballed. So now I'm pretty curious to see what is he going to play. Or is he just going to let us take the tower? Looks like he's going to just let us take tower, and I think that was his best bet there. I think he kind of had to. But now we need to let him take our tower. We're just going to get a poison off here. That's going to help finish off the Flying Machine. We'll just play archers all the way over here, and if he arrows them, we're going to play Dark Prince. It's going to go for a Night Witch, so we're just going to get a nice Golem down. And he's actually going to clone, which is quite aggressive, but it's Inferno Drag. Once again, he's going to Golem. I don't think this time, since he has the King helping out, we're going to be able to Graveyard, so I think here we just want to take it kind of slow. He's going to go for a Flying Machine. We need to try to get rid of that as quick as we possibly can. Because we need to, if all possible, kill this Golem. This might be a very long game, since I feel like those Flying Machines are really obnoxious for us to deal with. But I think our best bet's taking it slow, and then when we can finally get some Graveyard pushes going, we try our best to get some damage in. But right now, I don't think we're in any position to be going in for Graveyards, that's for sure. I think we just poison here again. That was actually a very valuable poison. Gets the arrows off once again, and now I think it might actually be time for us to well Graveyard, because we have a lot of support coming in now that all died, but those weren't the best arrows. No way! We actually stole the win. We got it. Oh my gosh. We managed to steal that one. I mean, that was close. I guess we got a little lucky. And as I said, just patience is key. And we were finally able to, I guess, just spam him with graveyards there at the end. And eventually overwhelm him. Oh my goodness. That was close. We won by, I think, 120 something damage. Jeez. Can't really get much closer than that. Wow. Was just, I mean, that was interesting. I actually think he played that quite well. I mean, it's Golem clone, obviously. It's not extremely hard to use, but, like, I mean, he played it well considering we had a reset to his Golem, and he still managed to take our tower pretty easily. He was really smart with when he went in for clones, and he never really overcommitted, which is why we were never really able to get some graveyard pushes going earlier on in the game, except when we took his right tower. But after that, he just played it really, really smart, I feel like. Anyway, we found our next game. We're going to have a goblin cage, so perfect timing. We ended up playing it right when he went in for a skeleton barrel. So we're going to go for a firecracker, so we'll just poison it. Firecracker, skeleton barrel, I mean, this could be like some sort of log bait deck. Now, if it is, that's a bit unfortunate since we don't have like a bar barrel or a log, so if he does have a goblin barrel, that's going to make things a bit tricky for us. But with him having the goblin cage, it's making me think maybe it's like maybe even some sort of RG deck, kind of like the RG cycle deck I used. We're again going to go goblin cage for the skeleton barrel. Once again, he goes firecracker. We're going to poison it. He's still going to have to respond to that Dark Prince because firecracker goes down. So he's going to go skeletons. Dark Prince, he's going to have Royal Hogs. Royal Hogs, skeleton barrel. Very interesting. Dark Prince is going to be pretty good versus Royal Hogs. Obviously, I didn't have it in cycle there, which was unfortunate. But archers and snowball denied majority of the damage. So you're going to let these archers go? I had a feeling he would since we already dealt a lot of damage to his other tower. And a bit unfortunate for us that I had to spend 6 elixir just to counter that skeleton barrel because I didn't have a cage in cycle. I had to cycle an ice golem first. So this could be a little bad. I actually want to poison because I bet you he's going to play Royal Hogs. He only played one in the left lane. Interesting. I was expecting him to play all the Royal Hogs in the left lane. So, not the best poison, but it did take out the firecracker. So, it's not like it was, awful. He's going to have the Royal Delivery, which is super strong now after its buff. Firecracker should shoot itself into the poison. I mean, it got some damage on our tower, but now we're getting damage on his tower from the poison. So, I don't even know if that Firecracker was even worth it on his end. Cage and Dark Prince should shut down these Royal Hogs really nicely. He's being really aggressive right now with those bats. Can't say I agree. We're going to go in for our first graveyard of the game. Snowball these skeletons. Take them off the board. And with the tower being slowed down, we're dealing a lot of damage to it. We're going to get a nice poison here. We need to, once again, go for a cage. It's not going to pull all the Royal Hogs, but it pulls most. And if we can just get one more good graveyard off, we might be able to win off of this graveyard push. Because, again, he was super aggressive. So we just need to snowball these skeletons off the board again. Try to poison killing this firecracker. He doesn't have enough time to get the Royal Delivery down. So we actually just get the win right off the Dark Prince charging. Yeah, that was crazy. Every single time he played Royal Hogs, he got so much damage on our towers. But every single time I played Graveyard, we got so much damage on his towers. So, in a way, we both kind of countered each other. But in the end, he just didn't have any reliable answers to our Graveyard. And overall, very interesting deck that he has Skeleton Barrel and Royal Hogs in the same deck. Kind of two win conditions. Probably would have been better if he had like a log or a snowball. That would have definitely helped him defend the Graveyard better. But he ended up having a Skeleton Barrel, which was interesting. So we make it to 6,400. We're top 500 now, but let's keep going. Probably play 1 or 2 more games. But yeah, I really like this deck. The cycle's really nice, and just any deck where you're able to split something like archers just makes it feel kind of clean because you have something going in each lane, you know, kind of protecting each lane. Kind of, you know, same like thing as the 3M, except 3M just aren't that good because of their deploy time. So it's taking a little longer to find this one. Let's try to cancel and search again. Not insanely high up. It shouldn't take more than, you know, 15 seconds. Can't see why it would take much longer than that. But anyone? There we go. Alright, reverse Juras Rep. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. This, I know what this guy uses. He uses Giant Graveyard. Because I've seen him on ladder before. So, I don't know. I don't remember all his cards, but I know he has Giant Graveyard. Unless he switched for some reason. But, this is going to be kind of interesting. Because we have Poison and Archers, which are two great answers to his graveyard. It depends on what his spell is. I'm not falling for all his bait. I know he has a graveyard. We're not using our Poison. We can split Archers. It's going to go for a Giant. Okay, let's Cage, try to protect our Inferno Drag. Oh no. That Snowball I thought was going to cost us there, but the Goblin Cage is just so strong. Okay, so I was right, it's Giant Graveyard, and now I remember even more so what the rest of his deck is. So he has, it's like Giant Graveyard bait, but I still don't know what his spells are. This is kind of interesting. I mean, we got to save our Archers for his graveyard. Archers and Poison are just our best answers to the graveyard. I don't think we want to be cycling those out of rotation. I'm curious, does he know yet that we have Graveyard? I'm going to go Graveyard here because he doesn't have, Ooh, he's got Poison. Okay, so he has Poison too. So... Interesting. Is Poison his only spell? He might have like a Snowball or Arrows or something. Because usually Graveyard decks have more than one spell. Kind of like how we have too. So we're going to play Archers here. We're going to Poison the Graveyard. Okay, he has Arrows. Yeah, this is going to be a little difficult then. Because Arrows are really good versus Archers. Obviously. Hopefully that Ice Golem can finish off all the bats. And it finishes off almost none of them. Okay, that did not work out very well for us at all. Bats are getting so much value. And now he's going to have a huge counter push potential. In fact, I think we're done for because I'm actually not too sure how we're going to defend this. It's going to stop it for the time being, but unless he loses connection or something, I can't see how we're going to come back from this situation because all he really needs to do... I think I was too aggressive this game. Should have been more passive. Because now I think... Yeah, with that Poison, and I think Arrows probably come down here as well. Yeah, Arrows do enough. That's going to do it, I think. He didn't even need the Arrows. Alright, that felt like a tough one. Mostly because he had Arrows for our Archers. I feel like any deck that has Arrows probably does quite decent versus this deck. But maybe I should have split my Archers more, or maybe just shouldn't have been that aggressive, I don't know, but... Overall, that deck seemed a little bit annoying. Also, Goblin Gang is quite good versus Graveyard. Maybe I just had to be more passive. I think that's kind of the only thing. Like just that one Graveyard push kind of cost us the game because then he had a Goblin Gang Giant and just a massive, massive counter push that I just wasn't able to defend because I spent so much elixir myself. But all right. Reverse the Beast here. Let's go ahead and split Archers in the back to start the game off and have Goblin Cage ready. It's going to go Musketeer. So, I think we still want to go Goblin Cage. We have no idea what this is yet. gonna have Sparky. Sparky's interesting because it, like, depends, I guess, on the Sparky deck if this is going to be hard or not. But we don't ever set for the Sparky. So, I mean, we defend the Sparky push, but we basically have to spend all of our elixir. This is interesting. I mean, I beat Sparky with this deck before, but this is not a very good start. We're down in elixir right now, and just, this is the problem with Sparky. When you get yourself into a bad position versus Sparky, almost feels like everything kind of falls apart at that point, because you just, it's really hard to kind of get yourself back in the game when you're down versus Sparky deck, if that makes sense. But obviously it's not over yet. We can come back. It's just we need to be really careful how we're defending these next few sequences of, and right as I say that, we take a Sparky hit on our tower. So essentially we need to defend this next Sparky push of his pretty much flawlessly, or else I think we lose this one. Because I don't think he has a big spell, but yeah, we're not in a great spot right now, that's for sure. I think we got to pressure opposite lane. I think that's the only thing we can do. We do successfully surround the Sparky, but things just do not look very good here. He's got a lightning, so wouldn't have mattered anyways. Yeah, that's unfortunate. We just got ourselves in a bad position at the beginning, and we were never able to really come back. Sparky got too much value early on from that Dark Prince and Cage, and things just kind of fell apart after that. So I mean, yeah, that was tough, but I definitely think Sparky's a little hard to beat, but I beat it here. I'll show you guys the replay, and I think after this, we'll call it a video after that. I mean, 3 wins and 2 losses, not bad. I don't think I played the last 2 games perfectly either, to be honest. But let's put this on 2x speed. I kind of just want to show you guys, like, it's possible to beat Sparky, especially maybe not that Heal Spirit one. That Heal Spirit Sparky deck is really, really toxic. It's becoming meta like crazy the last couple weeks. Just more and more people have been using it. But the reason why I think this game went better is just the start of the game was much better for me. But this guy played really interesting. He was kind of panicking the whole time, it felt like. But you can see, you go in for, Dark Princes and Goblin Cages, and they do a pretty good job of taking care of Giants and Mini P.E.K.K.A. You saw I distracted. He knew he was up Elixir, that's why he went for the Sparky at the bridge, but I guess he didn't realize I had my Goblin Cage in rotation. So I saw the idea behind his Sparky, but it just wasn't obviously the play since I had a Goblin Cage in rotation. But you can see defensive graveyards are key, and just playing pretty passively. You're going to see basically for the rest of this game, I'm not going in for any more graveyards on his tower until I'm up a ton of elixir, or just until like I really need to. And I pretty much never had an opportunity to, because he was keeping so much pressure up that I just really never had a chance. Because if I knew I went in for a graveyard poison, I wouldn't have had enough elixir to defend, so I was just kind of playing this as passively as I could, making sure he didn't get too much damage on my tower. And I finally go for a graveyard. I was hoping the Sparky would shoot back and not shoot the Dark Prince, but unfortunately the skeletons didn't spawn and distracted in time, so that was a bit unfortunate. I'm going to slow it down here because there's a lot going on 3x speed. It's too hard to follow if it's on 2x speed when it's on triple elixir. But we had a really close finish. You guys are about to see. Again, defensive graveyard. Was really just doing everything I could at this point to make sure he doesn't do any more damage on my tower besides the spells he had, because the spells are obviously guaranteed damage. And I knew I had a chance because with him having arrows and snowballs as spells, and I knew I had poison, I knew poison did more than 300 damage, so I might have had a chance to catch up, but I at this point didn't know how I was going to win this. I knew this was going to be really, really close. And you guys are about to see it was such a close ending. I get the snowball down last second, and it's just enough to win me the game. It was a crazy game. Win by 23 HP. So like, I mean, it's possible to beat Sparky, but you can see it's really hard, especially if they have arrows for your archers, or just this guy, you know, lightning and zap to reset the inferno drag, and just really rough start. It's tough, but defensive graveyards are key, and just being passive and waiting for an opportunity. So a little bit of a longer video today, not like insanely long, but a few minutes longer than usual. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like the video if you guys enjoyed it, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and let me know what you guys want to see next. I have no idea what I want to use next video, or if I want to play a GC or ladder, but I'm open to suggestions. Seeing here if I have any. Would you guys like to see a log bait video? I haven't done log bait in a while, and this log bait deck is pretty good in the meta. I could probably use it on a ladder or in a GC. But yeah, let me know. And thanks again. Until next time, guys.